Hello viewers, welcome to Diaspora Speak. Today we're discussing about investing in Africa. Asking ourselves the questions like, what part of Africa is best to invest in? Number two, you ask yourself which industry is doing very well in Africa. Some of us are investing in our motherland emotionally because that is where we are attached. We're going to explore all that today. But before we do that, I'm going to introduce you to Dr. Harnet. And you will understand why I decided to venture in African Business Bootcamp 2016.
And I want to inspire you by some of the people who have done it. And I want to show you that there's no difference between you guys and those people.
Well, I wanted to see what UK entrepreneurs are planning to do in Africa.
With the presentation that she's made, I've found out that there are places now that I could actually look into.
Africa is the new frontier for growth, potentially, and particularly for African diaspora in the UK and other European countries. Now is the moment to utilise your networks, your resources, and make things happen in Africa.
In Africa, it's an emerging market. In Africa, as much opportunity as there is a lot of risk also. And if you focus on a single market only, and that market gets somehow hit, you're in big trouble.
We need a lot of knowledge, a lot of training to kick off. We have the knowledge as in academic, but we need to meet people who've been there before and they made it, and that is what we are lacking.
She's clearly identified countries with growth markets for different sectors. So of interest to me is IT and ICT.
Just to confirm, really, that there's a real lack of knowledge around what to do, where to go, being around like-minded people. You know, it's nice to be able to see how other people have done it and also get insight into how you can go about doing it.
That was Diaspora Speak 2015 as we reached out to Dr. Harnet to find out what she does. But today, it's all about Africa Business Bootcamp 2016. Wanting to talk to Dr. Harnet way more on why she's put this together. So welcome to the program, Diaspora Speak. And today, let's enjoy and think more about investing in Africa the right way.
Yeah, Africa Business Bootcamp is all about empowering the diaspora, but also friends of Africa, entrepreneurs, investors who are looking to do business in Africa or investing on the continent. And I want to empower them to actually take action. Because a lot of the information we find out there on Africa Business News is interesting information, but it's not actionable information. And what we find is that a lot of people have an interest to do something back home or on the continent, but they don't know how to go about it. And because they are missing that link, the roadmap that takes them from A to B, they're not getting started. And that's a shame, because Africa is full of opportunities, and I really believe all of us, in particular the diaspora, but also friends of Africa, entrepreneurs, investors, need to get in now.
Well, a keyword that came out from those we interviewed today who attended the bootcamp was practical. How have you made sure that your course is so practical for the diaspora? What kind of research have you done out there? Because it's surprising me that for the 53 countries in Africa, you've got them touched. What was the preparation like?
Yeah, I think what I have tried to do is to put it all into systems that people can apply to their own circumstances. So we're talking about a continent with 54 markets, lots of industries, lots of business concepts that one can follow. And that's where the confusion sets in. How do you make decisions? How do you know one business concept is better than the other? And I think where the practicality in my Africa Business Bootcamp comes in is that I really break it down for them. I show them the roadmap from A to B, and I break it down in actionable step. I actually broke it down in 7 steps, and I call it the 7-step winning formula for business in Africa.
7-step winning formula for Africa. There are people who will be watching these and asking themselves, how can we get started? They're still in the dreamland. What is your voice to those people?
Well, first of all, you need to know, what is the industry that you're interested in. I think that's a good starting point. A lot of people are starting with people they know somewhere. They want to do business back home because it's home. But home may or may not be a good market to do business in, and it may or may not be a good market for your industry of interest. So I've talked about that as well, that there's a lot of emotional decision making that we're doing, a lot of attached decision making, and we want to make sound decisions, informed decisions, and that's why I'm trying to move them forward with.
I mean, I resonate very well with emotional decisions because I'm one person who invests in Kenya emotionally. So in fact, in terms of thinking about what needs to be done business-wise, that's a lot of people would resonate with that. Now, talking about you in bootcamp, there was a lot of attendees today who are not from the UK, from Sweden, from France. They landed here today. How did you get such a huge network, diverse network?
Yeah, I think it's amazing the kind of commitment some people showed. We had a lady today, she just arrived yesterday morning from Cameroon, and then she wrote me an email and said, I'm on the road again, driving from Paris, trying to catch the ferry in the morning. So I think it's amazing commitment that some people show. And most people have been following me via my blog, africajumpstart.com. So I'm out there on my blog. I've written a book, 101 Ways to Make Money in Africa. So a lot of people have read my book, and now they're kind of following up with what else I offer. The Africa Business Bootcamp is one thing, but I also offer Africa business missions on the ground this year.
Well, I hear you've got one coming up in Ghana.
That's right. Ghana and Rwanda is on the plan for this year.
How can people join in?
Well, people can register. I'm giving priority to the people that have joined my Africa Business Bootcamp. And the reason is because I know that these people have already invested in themselves to be here today. And I can see their commitment. And also, they have now the theory, the things that I taught them today, the steps, they kind of know exactly now what to look out for when we go on the ground. But everyone can join. I have created a events page or a missions page, and you can access it via my Africa Jumpstart blog.
As somebody who's doing such a fantastic job for the continent, what kind of support do you need from the community?
Right. I mean, to be very honest with you, Janet, I think the biggest hope and wish I have is that the word spreads fast, because when I do everything I do with the Africa Business Bootcamp, the missions on the ground, even the effort I put in writing a book about how to do business in Africa, my blog, all of that is attached to a vision. And the vision for that is that I want to be part of Africa's renaissance. And I really, really deeply believe that the diaspora should go in there. We should be part of the process of bringing Africa forward. The opportunities on the continent are huge. And the wonderful thing is that when you get in, not only can you contribute towards the development of Africa, which is really our continent, and we want to see it flourish, especially after decades and centuries of disaster. But also, it also gives us an opportunity to build our own grand lifestyles. A lot of us are living in a very limited way. We have a job, but we're employed, and there's a monthly kind of wage, and our highlight is a yearly holiday, let's say. Yeah. And so it is for all of us to step out of our comfort zones, to realize the opportunities that are there in Africa, to realize the huge opportunity for ourselves to create a life that is meaningful because we're contributing towards the lives of others in Africa, but at the same time we can build a grand lifestyle for ourselves and families. And I think that's Just that combination, it ticks all boxes. And I want more people to feel it and to get in there.
You are very passionate about what you believe in. I like that. But I also know that there are people who can't reach you. There are people who can't come to the boot camp, but they would like to engage with you. And somebody did mention that you have some courses that you do along the time, maybe 3 months courses that people can run with you. What's that all about? Because I have not caught it from you.
Yes, that's a good question, Janet. I mean, I've started with my blog, africajumpstart.com. I give a lot of valuable information there. A lot of it is actionable information or strategies or what to do and what not to do. So you can find a lot of free information on my site. I did the ebook as a next step, also trying to reach out more, and it's been selling across the world and has got, luckily, very good reviews also on Amazon. Now, I'm moving forward in, first of all, getting people engaged during the boot camps in real terms, but I'm also now designing an online course because a lot of people have expressed interest to be at my boot camps, but they're based either in Africa or another European country, or it was difficult, or they couldn't make it for some reason. And I want to give people the opportunity to step into the Africa business state from space from wherever they are. So my vision in the very beginning was the majority of Africa business events that are out there are the kind of traditional conferences, and they kind of follow the same scheme. Now, the people who are visiting these business conferences are usually already quite advanced. They kind of know already what they want to do or are doing business already. And I wanted to be able to produce products or services that people can access easily at their own convenience. So be it in the comfort of their home, or be it while they're stuck in traffic, or be it while they're in the gym or on the playground with their children, so they can access that information and in a way that serves them.